They're twin boys, so they'll be born in January. So we're just going to tell you a little bit about Ariana and how we ended up adopting her. So when we first got Ariana, she was actually in foster care. We were her foster parents. So we're going to ask you guys a little bit about foster care. What do you guys think foster care means? What's foster care? Does anybody know? What's foster care? Yeah, so there's kids who's, so children in foster care are kids whose their parents can't safely take care of them. So then they go to live with another family. So Ariana's mom wasn't able to safely take care of her when she was born, so she came to live with us. And then we were her foster parents. And what do you guys think some reasons are that kids might be in foster care? What are some reasons their parents might not be able to take care of them?
I've heard of some stories where their parents go to jail.
Yeah, so like if their parents are in jail or in prison, then they can't take care of the kids, right? What are some other reasons kids might be in foster care? What do you guys think? So sometimes the parents don't have enough money for food or clothes for the kids, or they don't have a place to live. Or if the parents have dangerous people around them, then it's not safe for the kids to live with them. Or if they don't know how to be a good mom and dad and they need some help. How long do you think kids are in foster care for? What do you think? However long is needed. What do you think? How long are kids in foster care? I know, we don't really know. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 3 years. We never know. It just depends how long the parents need, right, to be able to be a safe home for their kids.
1,000.
1,000? Yes, sometimes the parents are never able to be a safe home, right?
11 months.
Could be. It could be. Now, do you guys think kids in foster care get to see their parents? What do you think? Sometimes. So, usually kids in foster care get to see their parents once or twice a week, usually for like an hour or two at a time. And they'll sit a social worker will sit with them while they spend time with their parents. Who do you think picks foster kids up from school? What do you think? Who picks foster kids up from school?
The teacher.
So the teacher watches them while they're at school, and then their foster parents pick them up from school when they're all done. Right? Just like your mom or dad would pick you up from school if you don't take the bus. The foster parents pick up a kid up from foster care or from school. And what do you think foster kids do on the weekend? What do you think? What do they do on the weekend?
Spend some time with their family.
Yeah, so they'll spend time with their foster family. What do you think over here? You had an idea. What do they do on the weekend?
They might go to their actual parents.
So usually not, because usually they only get to see their actual parents like once a week. So on the weekends they spend time with their foster family. I know, it's kind of sad, right? Do you think they miss their parents? Yeah, they miss their parents, but it's not safe for them usually to go see their actual parents. What does a kid in foster care do on the holidays, like on Christmas? Yeah, they stay with their foster family and celebrate with their foster family. So when a foster kid leaves their family's house and goes to live with the foster family, do they get to bring all their clothes and all their toys? They get to pack up a bunch of boxes and like move in? How much do they get to bring? What do you think? Yeah, like one thing, or like a backpack with a couple things in it. They don't get to bring all their things.
And sometimes if they don't even have a backpack, all they get to do is fill up a trash bag with what they can take in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Now, is it ever the kids' fault that they're in foster care?
No.
No, you're totally right. It's always because of a big grown-up problem that their parents have.
And if you guys can guess, how many kids do you think are in foster care in Delaware right now? A lot.
What do you think? How many? 20?
20?
What do you think? What do you think?
30.
30?
30?
How many?
100.
100? 100.
closer. More than
Yeah.
that.
40. But you guys
40.
know how much?
We do.
We do know.
What? A trillion billion?
There's about 600 kids in the state of Delaware that are in foster care right now. So there's about 600 kids that instead of living with their own families, they're living with a different family because it's not safe for them to live with their family. So we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about why we wanted to be foster parents. So we both felt like God was telling us that that was something that we should do with our life, that we should be foster parents. But it was before we even met each other that God was telling each of us. And then when we met each other, we found out that that was something that we both wanted to do. So that was pretty cool. And guess what, guys? So one of the reasons that I wanted to be a foster parent was because when I was your age, guess who one of my Sunday school teachers was?
Foster parent?
Close. Look behind you.
He's in the room right now.
Big Jim. Big Jim used to be one of my Sunday school teachers. Can you believe that?
No.
And what does Big Jim like to talk about a lot? People. And is there like a special group of people that he likes to talk about a lot? Right? Kids who need parents, right? Kids who need to be adopted or need foster parents, right? So that's how I started thinking about foster care, and then God was talking to me and telling me that I should be a foster parent.
And then when I was in college, I started going to a church, and there were a couple of families in the small group I was in that were foster parents. So there was one family that had a little tiny baby that they were fostering and taking care of, and then there was another family that they had a high schooler that they were taking care of, and that's when I started to get a little bit more interested in it myself.
Right, and sometimes foster care is sad because when a kid comes into our family as a foster child, we start loving them, right? We treat them like they're our own child. But then usually the goal is for them to be able to go back and be with their own family. And then that, even though we know that's a good thing, it makes us sad because we love them and we miss them, right? But so a lot of people tell us that it wouldn't ever be something that they want to do because they get too attached to the kids. But that's what the kids need, right? They need someone that loves them that much, right? And it's kind of like what Jesus did for us, right? Like, so we're okay with being sad so that the kids can have some love. And Jesus died on the cross and got hurt, right? Just so that he knew that we could be saved, right? He was willing to do that.
Alright, so when we decided that we first wanted to be foster parents, this was way back last year. In January, we went to an information session. And then after that, we had to do 4 all-day classes where they could just teach us about what foster care is and some of the things that kids who are in foster care go through so that we could better understand some things from their point of view and how they might be feeling. And just some of the hard things that come along with being a foster parent and taking care of these kids. After we finished all of our classes, somebody had to come out to our house 2 times to make sure that our home was a safe place for the kids, because a lot of times they're taking these kids out of homes that are could be bad for them or are dangerous, and so they want to make sure that our house will be safe and that we have all of the supplies that they need, to take care of them. They have a place to sleep, clothes to wear. And then we finally got approved as foster parents in September. So we started in January, and it took 9 whole months for us to finally become approved as foster parents.
And then we got a phone call that said, "Welcome to foster care, we have a baby for you." So this was the first baby that we took care of. So she wasn't our biological baby, right? Like, I didn't give birth to her, but we took care of her. We went and picked her up from the hospital after she was born. Then her name is Isabella, and that's our dog. Her name's Stacie. Do you think she liked the baby? Yeah, she liked the baby. So we had baby Isabella, and she met all of our family, and we took care of her just like she was our own baby, right? We loved her and spent a lot of time with her. We got no sleep because she was waking up during the night, right, to eat. And then about a week later, we went to the court hearing that they have to make sure that nothing's changed, make sure that she still should be in foster care. And at that time, the judge found out some more information and realized that there was Isabella's grandma could take care of her. So she went to live with her grandma. So we had her Isabella for a week. And then the same day that Isabella went to live with her grandmom, somebody else was born. Who do you think was born? Uh-huh. Yep, so the same day that Isabella left us, Ariana was born. We found out about her, and then a couple days later, we brought Ariana home. She was a tiny little baby. Yeah. She was a tiny little baby.
Yeah. She was only 5 days old when we brought her home.
Yeah. And who do you think that is? So that's me, that's Ariana. Who's that? Yeah, that's Ariana's birth mom. So that means she's the one that gave birth to her, right? But so I'm the foster mom and she's the birth mom.
Yeah, sure. So, this picture was taken right outside.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's a birth mom, he said?
So the birth mom is the mom who grew the baby in her tummy. Yep.
Yep. And so Ariana's mom here would come to all of the doctor's appointments. And when new babies are just born, there's a lot of doctor's appointments. They have to go a lot to make sure that the baby's growing well and is healthy and everything. So we got to know her pretty well going to all of these, going to see the doctor so much. And so I got some questions for you guys. So how do you think that Ariana's mom feels about Ariana being in foster care? Did you have your hand up or was that for something else?
I wanted more goldfish.
Oh. Probably take those right next to you. What do you guys think? How do you think Ariana's mom feels? Yeah. Sad, definitely. Yeah, sad that she can't take care of her.
Angry.
Yeah, absolutely. She can definitely be angry that she's not getting to take care of her. Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, definitely sad, absolutely. She could be a little jealous because her baby's home with us and she's not getting to be with her. So there's definitely a lot of ways that the parents can be, upset with or sad at the foster parents. Sometimes they can be very thankful that we're taking care of her baby, but that's not always the case. So, do you guys think that Ariana's mom loved her?
Yes.
Yeah. No? Why not? You don't know?
So she did love her. She loved her a whole lot, even though she wasn't able to take care of her, but she loved her a whole lot.
Yeah. What are some ways that you guys think that we showed Jesus to her birth mom? Are there some things that we could do for her or anything? Yeah?
Take care of her.
Take care of her? Yeah, well, we were taking care of her baby, but we could definitely be nice to her and try and do some things to help her out, sure. What about praying for her? Do you guys think that would have been a good thing to do for her? To help show her Jesus? Alright, so we had a question or a little bit earlier about if the parents ever got to see their kids. And so this is Ariana with her mom at a visit. And so for 2 hours, 1 day a week, there would be a visit that she would go to. And there would be somebody that it was their job to kind of sit in on the visit and supervise, and I wouldn't stay there. I would drop Ariana off, and then I'd go back and pick her up. And so she would only get to see her mom one day a week for 2 hours when it wasn't a doctor's appointment. So, looking up at this picture here, does anybody know where this is?
What's that?
Yeah?
The White House.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely,
How
yeah.
about this one? Does
Yeah.
anybody recognize
This
this?
one's tougher to see. Does anybody know where that is?
A bridge.
What bridge is that?
What bridge is that? Oh, I don't think you can see.
Oh, sorry.
A road bridge.
It is a real bridge.
It is a real
yeah.
bridge.
Where do you think that is? Does anybody know?
No,
That's the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California.
So, one of the things that we had to do was we had to ask permission if we wanted to take Ariana on a trip with us, because her birth mom still had a say in all of those decisions. So we had to get her permission if we wanted to take her to Washington, D.C., or all the way out to California, too. Yeah.
Axe.
Yeah, we had to ask. All right. So, here are some other pictures of Ariana, just as she's growing up. Yeah.
Is Ariana's real mom thankful that you took her?
She is, yeah. So we would also go to court a couple times where a judge would decide kind of some of the things that were best for Ariana. And Ariana's mom will get a chance to speak out at these things. And at one of the last court hearings, she did talk about how appreciative, well, how thankful she was to us, and how she was really happy that Ariana was in our home.
Even though she was sad at the same time, right, that she couldn't take care of Ariana, she was thankful that we were taking good care of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have my own fish.
Yeah. Sure can. But so we were going to court, and when Ariana was
Can
about
I have some more water?
When Ariana was about 8 months old, the judge decided that it would be best if Ariana didn't go back to be with her parents. And we talked about with foster care, it can be any length of time. It could be 1 month, 6 months, a year, and then they might go back. But the judge decided that it wasn't safe for Ariana to go back and live with her mom. So there was a group of people that decided that it would be best if Ariana moved in to us and we officially adopted her. So we scheduled Ariana's adoption date on her first birthday. But guess what happened then?
What?
You guys,
that?
yeah, who's that?
That's me. And what am I wearing?
I think I heard it.
It's a hospital gown. So I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So the day before we were supposed to have Ariana's adoption, we found out that on the day of Ariana's adoption, the babies in my belly had to have surgery. So instead of me being with Ariana when she got adopted, I was in the hospital. I was on FaceTime. If you can see, that's me on the phone right there. So this was the day that Ariana was adopted. You guys, what does it mean to be adopted?
That when you're a baby, you gotta be adopted.
Yeah, so what does that mean? So does that mean that Ariana might leave us and go back with her birth mom at some point? No. Is Ariana going to leave us at any point?
Family.
Yeah, it means that she's now our daughter, right? Forever, and we're her mom and dad forever, right? Till she's 100, right? Till she's 100, we're her mom and dad, right? Forever. Right? Just like you guys have moms and dads? So
Yeah.
now we're her mom and dad.
And it's the same way too, like when we put our faith and we believe in Jesus, that we're part of God's family too. You know, it's kind of
He
very
adopts
similar
us
to
into
that.
his family, right?
So we adopted Ariana, and God adopts us into his family. Alright.
So I'm gonna have you guys close your eyes, and we're gonna imagine something.
Yeah,
We're
so
gonna imagine
everybody
if
close
you're
your
a
eyes.
foster kid. So the social worker comes to your house and says it's not safe to live with your family anymore, and that you have to go live with a different family that you don't know. You can only take what fits in a backpack. Think about what you might bring. How would it feel to leave all your things behind? Would you miss your family? How would you feel going to live in a strange family's home? They like to cook things for dinner like fish and sauerkraut and chili. But you just like spaghetti, chicken nuggets, and mac and cheese. They don't know that you always sing a special song before you go to sleep. You don't know where the bus stop is. You don't know any of the kids on the bus or any of the kids in the new neighborhood. You have to learn all new rules, and you aren't allowed to do some of the things you used to do, like eat ice cream in the living room while watching TV. You go to the same school, but all your friends notice that it's a different family picking up from school. You feel angry and sad and confused. You feel grumpy. You're so busy trying to adjust to living with a new family that you can't focus on school, so you start getting bad grades. But finally, you start getting settled into the new foster family. You have fun playing soccer in the backyard with your foster dad. Your foster mom wants to cook some of your favorite foods. You still really miss your own family, but you start loving your foster family too. A little while later, you get some great news. You get to go back to your own family. You go back and you live with your own family for a year, but then your mom and dad make some bad decisions, and the social worker comes back to say it's not safe for you to live with them again. So you go to live with a different family. But this time it's a different foster family, and they're totally different than the first family you were with. They like to play tennis, not soccer. They celebrate different holidays than you, like Hanukkah. They have a whole different set of rules that you have to learn. They have a really big dog that you're scared of. All of your friends at school ask who the new people are picking up from school. You feel extra sad because you miss your own family as well as your first foster family. That's kind of what it's like to be a foster kid. Sounds kind of hard, right? Does anybody know any kids that are in foster care? Yeah. Sometimes you might know kids like at your school or kids in church. So what do you think you can do to help? If you meet a kid and you find out that they're they're living with a foster family, what are some things you can do for them?
Save them.
So they don't need to be saved because they're living with a safe family, right? Their foster family is a safe place for them to live. What do you think we can do? We can pray for them, and we can be extra nice to them. And if they come to church, they may not know any of the kids here, right? Because they're with a new family. So you can be their friend and play with them and say nice things to them, right? And sometimes the kids are really scared, so they don't really know how to act right. So when they're not acting right, sometimes we can be extra nice even if they're not doing the right things. It's not usually because they're a bad kid, it's just because they're going through a lot, right? Living with all these different families they don't know. Alright, we have one more story for you. Do you guys know what these are?
Starfish! I like starfish!
You do? Okay, we're gonna
but I've never seen them.
You never seen one? I know.
I never seen one too.
We're gonna read a story about the starfish, okay? It says a young girl was walking along a beach upon which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to each starfish, she would pick it up and throw it back into the ocean. Because that's where starfish are supposed to live, right? In the ocean?
Yeah, and deep down.
Yeah, people watched her with amusement. She had been doing this for some time when a man approached her and said, "Little girl, why are you doing this? Look at this beach. You can't save all of these starfish. You can't even begin to make a difference." The girl was upset. But after a few moments, she bent down, picked up another starfish, and hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. She looked up at the man and replied, "Well, I made a difference to that one." This story just talks about how even though there's lots of kids in foster care, right? We said there's like 600 kids just in Delaware. Even if we're just nice to one or we help just one. Yeah, there's thousands of starfish, you're right.
There's a billion starfishes.
Yeah, I know. And if we can just help one kid, that still makes a big difference, right? Yeah. What other questions do you guys have about foster care or adoption? I know we talked about a lot. What do you think? No questions? Now, do you guys want to meet Ariana?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go get Ariana.
I love her. I also saw her this morning. I did.
Oh, she was out of the play area earlier. We were also feeding her a snack so you guys were coming in, so you may have seen her a little bit then too.
One little thing too, what is this month? It's November. What is November?
Thanksgiving.
National Adoption Month. This was a month when people focus on adoption.
And that's almost Christmas. Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
After Christmas, not Halloween. Then Mother's Day, and then Dad's Day.
These kids are so spoiled, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then Halloween. No.
How old is Ariana?
So Ariana just turned 1 in September. So she's 13 months.
What's your birthday?
September 19th. Does anybody in here have a September birthday? Yeah?
There's a kid in my school that has a September 19th.
Oh, really? Oh. Oh, yeah. Here she is. Hi, Ariana.
She's like, look at that.
Do you see all the kids? She was having fun playing in the nursery. She
Yeah,
didn't really want to
rosy
come.
cheeks.
So this is Ariana. So she's adopted now. So now she's our daughter, and we're her mom and dad.
Yesterday was my birthday.
No way. Happy birthday. How many years old did you turn?
6 years old.
Oh my goodness. Do you know how many years old Ariana is?
3?
She's just one.
One.
Just one.
Just one?
Just one.
Just one.
I'm 7.
Wow.
Is she talk?
Not really. Sometimes
Yeah.
she'll say hi, but she's so
You're
little.
not. You're lying. You're 5. Isn't 5? He's 6. Is she crawling?
She's crawling, yeah. She's not quite walking, but she's You excited? Do you have another question? What's that?
Can we finish these pictures?
You can finish those pictures, that's fine.
8.
Unless they have, I don't know, if right now is the right time or what else they have for you.
7. I need Arvin. So I'm 7.
You saying hi?
Yay! Got Arvin. Got pink. Can we play with her?
Yeah, you can play with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Tonka toy.
Yeah. It's,
7. It was 7 months.
I love Penny. Penny.
And then I was 5.
she's very cute, baby.
Wait. I was like this. I was like this. I'm
Oh, don't steal her picture.
7 months. Keep going, Mom.
How you saw it coming?
There's stable since there's no one there.
Stand to
Do you want me to switch this over?
Play
Switch
with
this over to
her.
the
Yeah.
video for you.